قال Musa says to those magicians that were called by Fir'aun, قال موسى ما جئتم به السحر إن الله سيبطله. What you brought is nothing but sihr. Allah will waive it. Who waves the sihr? It is Allah. Who removes the sihr? It is Allah. It is not me or you or the guy who reads. Because this is why I said when somebody goes to do the ruqya, he's got to be professional and he's got to be somebody who feels Allah. First, you talk to the person and try to link that person with Allah. It is not me who's the shafi. So don't put your trust in me. Don't think I'm the one who's going to give you the shifa. It is not me. It is Allah who can give you the shifa. This is the first talk that you have to talk to that person. Before starting, your ruqya, give that person a talk and elevate that iman. Give him a boost. Here Allah says, قال موسى ما جئتم به السحر إن الله سيبطله. Whatever you brought is sihr. This is nothing but sihr. Allah will waive it. إن الله سيبطله. إن الله سيبطله. Wallahi, my brothers and sisters, we were reciting these surahs, summated, alhamdulillah, upon people who were sick. They, subhanallah, some of them start screaming, some of them, start crying, some of them, la ilaha illallah. You see the wonders of Allah Azza wa Jalla. ما جئتم به السحر إن الله سيبطله. And then you recite Surah Taha 69. إنما صنعوا كيد ساحر ولا يفلح الساحر حيث أتى. Again, another surah that talks about sihr. إنما صنعوا كيد ساحر ولا يفلح الساحر حيث أتى. This is Taha, ayah number 69, that talks about sihr. This is nothing but sihr. إنما صنعوا كيد ساحر. This is nothing but sihr. Whatever they have made is purely sihr. ولا يفلح الساحر حيث أتى. The one who practices black magic will be a loser. Will be a loser. And we will talk about the signs of a black, the one who practices black magic. How would you distinguish? How would you know? And then the patient should drink of this water and wash yourself with it, or himself or herself with it for 7 days, if not more, but at least 7 days. At least 7 days, take this water and take a bath with it. Wallahi, I saw it with my own eyes. When you start, pouring water on this person who is sick, and you feel this man, this person, shivering and then screaming, and because the water's got nothing but Quran. Did we do anything other than Quran? Nothing. It's all Quran and Sunnah. Waraq al-Sidr, it's from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. It's in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, and also the Imam. And we'll talk later on about the other oil, like what is it called? Black seed, the black seed oil, or the black seed itself. How about some of the symptoms of infertility caused by witchcrafting? All right? Because we talked about the kinds of witchcrafting, if you remember. We said there's separation between husbands and wives, and we said infertility could be. So what are some of the signs of or symptoms of infertility caused by witchcrafting or black magic? Tightness in the chest, especially after Asr. After Asr, you see that person's chest, subhanAllah, becoming tightened, painful, and it can last until late at night, late in the evening. Subhanallah, every day, every night, that person's after Asr feels this tightness in the chest. Subhanallah. Constant pain in the lower back is another sign. Could be another sign. Constant pain in the lower back. Insomnia, which is lack of sleep. Hard to sleep, you find it very hard to sleep. Frequent nightmares could be another sign. right? We talked about those nightmares, like, seeing animals and, animals running after you and trying to catch you. A dog wanted to bite you, things like that, Falling off of a cliff, kind of. You see yourself falling off of a cliff. Not necessarily, this is like I said last week. If you see these signs, this is not necessarily that you're hit by witchcrafting, but it could be. Chances are that it could be, that person could be hit by some black magic. Everybody say Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. How about some of the signs of a witchcrafter? I'm still gonna go ahead, inshallah, later on and talk and give you the ruqya, and we'll write it down for you as well. The ruqya. Okay. Now I want to talk about the signs of a sahir. So there are a lot of people who claim that the only thing they do is they recite Quran. You go to somebody and says, Sheikh Fulan, he's very well known. People travel all over to go and see him, and that person only do Quran. And then when you go to that person who claims he does Quran, you see some weird stuff happening. Yes, he can recite the Quran. He can recite the Quran. He starts touching you and then he's reciting the Quran. But at the same time, he recites things that you don't know, you don't understand. There's a language called the Miyati, heard of, the language of the Jinn. So you see people, you see them reciting some weird language, writing some weird, I call it mambo jumbo, something that you can even read, some signs, symbols, reading the Quran or writing the Quran upside down, wal-iyadu billah. If he asks you about the mother and father's names, he's a sahir. Why my father's name? What do you want to? Oh, his father's name and his mother's name. What's his father's name? Why? Why would you know? Or why would you need to know his father's name or my father's name? And he's a sahir. That's one sign. Asking for somebody's garments. He says, "Can you go get me his shirt? Go get me his pants or her hijab or her abaya. Get me something. Get me some garment." He's a sahir. Asking for some animal. Get me a rat who lives in Hong Kong. I don't know. They say some weird stuff. Why? Because they want to make it so impossible so that you can pay money. And they've got that rat who lives in Hong Kong. They got him. So you pay money. They're just trickers. They fool you. Wal-iyadu billah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. طيب. When somebody asks for an animal, could be one of the signs of the sahir. Asking for the sacrifice to be thrown in a filthy place. A sacrifice. He goes and tells you, take this animal and go sacrifice it in this, a dump yard. Why? What did I say last week? A sahir has a contract with who? Jinn. With a jinn. And which? A jinn. He would not, or the sahir, or she would not do anything unless she has or he has a contract with the jinn, because they serve the jinn. For the jinn, wal-iyadu billah, to serve them, they have to serve the jinn. So the jinn asked them for some kufr, to perform some kufr. Like the story I've mentioned last week about this woman, right? Who, wal-iyadu billah, used to urinate on the Quran. Who said the story? Her son on TV. So it wasn't only me. It was said on TV, live, when she passed away, when she died and they couldn't bury her. And then they had to burn her, wal-iyadu billah. Her son came on TV, said, yes, my mother was sahira. And I saw her. Then this is what she did. And another guy, other people, other witchcrafters who repented, and they talk about their past and what they used to do. Things that commit, they make them commit kufr, so that they can serve them. So they have to sign a contract. Remember,